Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Tuesday evening and this evening we are talking food resilience in the UK. That's because there was an article in The Guardian today saying or letting people know about the resilience report that has come out from the UK government. Now, I haven't read the whole report, I only read the bit in the front page. I will put a link in the description to the report. But this guy wrote an article on the report saying, we really are not prepared at all. And the only thing that the government said in the last however many years was make sure you've got enough food for 3 days. Trust me, if they need me to have enough food for 3 days in rural Scotland, then it's going to be a lot longer than 3 days. But it mentions things, the article, as opposed to the report, mentions things like, how we get such a percentage of our food from abroad. We don't have stock areas to store food throughout the country. And I think one of the Scandinavian countries has actually started arranging for food to be stored in different areas so that it's throughout the country. So yeah, I was having a read of that and I was like, quite nicely timed, especially with everything that's going on, because it doesn't seem that anything's getting any easier in the wider world. Certainly, stuff doesn't seem to have quietened down. There seems to be a whole lot of back and forward with different governments all over the world. So, yeah, this 3 days of food I'm not thinking is enough. And as they say, you can last however long without food. You need at least 3 days of water. So it's definitely something to be looking at. With that, I'd certainly be looking at water butts. I know I've said for a couple of years I need to get a water butt, but I need to clear the space for it and get it organised and work out where my, what downpipe I'm going to use, etc., etc. So I think this is definitely something we need to look at. Yes, I know a lot of you will say, Karen, it's scaremongering. They've just put this report out. I think the main report came out the tail end of February. And this is really the only report I've seen about it. However, whether it's reported or not, the actual food resilience capability of the UK is pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. So it's definitely something to think about. It's something that I am thinking about. Obviously, I still have things done, but as I've said before, I am going to be pressure canning fresh stuff because it lasts for a couple of years after you pressure can it. So I will be doing some fresh pressure canning once I come back from a break. We'll get that stocked up. I'm using the stuff that I have just now. The chicken is actually really, really nice, mixed up with mayonnaise and sweet corn. Kathleen and I both like that. The mince is so easy to use. You'll literally heat it up, add some gravy granules, and that's you sorted. So yeah, we're going to start using up the jars. I've got spare lids there, etc., etc. But I think the fact that this report has come out now, the headlines of all the back and forth that's going on throughout the world, I think this is definitely a time to be looking at your food resilience. But one of the numbers that came out was, I think your foods, it's one of the easiest things to cut costs as other costs go up. As your electricity goes up, then you can cut costs in food. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of us have been cutting costs in food for a long time. But they said for a family to eat healthy food, it's going to cost them roughly 45% of their income. And if they have children, it could possibly rise as far as 75% of their income to provide healthy food as opposed to the, ultra processed food. So that is definitely something that needs to be looked at. So I just thought I would come and go, look, this has been published again. Someone's done a report on this again. Something to keep an eye on. So on that note, my eyes and I are going to go make tea. Catch you later.